are watching the Grizzly Digital Network. Now let's go live to the voice of the Grizzlies, Matt Mahoney.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lawrenceville, Georgia, on the campus of Georgia Gwinnett College. We are live from the Grizzlies Soccer Complex for the 2019 NAIA Men's Soccer Opening Round Lawrenceville Bracket Saturday Showdown. Hello again, everybody. I'm Matt Mahoney. That's quite a mouthful, and we have even more stories to tell you here as Georgia Gwinnett, the host and 1 seed, takes on the Running Eagles of Life University. A 40-mile trek across Metro Atlanta will see this Life team back here just 24 hours ago after advancing on penalty kicks, eliminating Union College from this national championship. Today, it's no different. We'll spotlight Georgia Gwinnett and the assassin, Alfredo Rivera. His 40-yard rocket all the way back in September beat this Life team 3-2 in the 77th minute, and now the Eagles are back here in Lawrenceville with much more at stake, looking for revenge. So Alfredo Rivera will be a marked man in that midfield by the Running Eagles, and for GGC, all eyes defensively will be on new number 11. That's right, Thierry Jules. Jules comes in at 6'8". He is no stranger to scouting reports. There he is right there. Scored his 10th goal of the season yesterday in regulation. He is Life's all-time leading goal scorer as well, and the Eagles are making their 4th NAIA National Tournament appearance, and that is thanks to an 8-0 regular season record in that impressive Mid-South Conference that hosts teams like Lindsey Wilson, Campbellsville, Cumberland, and Cumberlands out of Kentucky. And that's right, this Life team ran right through conference play with a perfect 8-0 record. They stubbed their toe in the conference tournament against Lindsey Wilson, but the committee deemed that their regular season work was more than enough to punch their ticket as one of the 46 best teams in the NAIA. And that's what we got now. 46 teams. About 15 of them were eliminated yesterday, so 15 opening sites have 2 teams remaining, and 15 more tickets will be punched to Irvine, California later on today. Here in Lawrenceville, Georgia, 90 minutes is going to go up on the board, which will decide the difference between heading to that final site for Life, the first time in program history since the program's been reinstated in 2016, or for Georgia Gwinnett. It'll be their 3rd time in a row. So history will be made here today at the Grizzly Soccer Complex. As we begin the international walkout, we'll turn things over to our public address announcer and Mr. Dale Long for today's starting lineups.
Number 19, Felipe Bacani. Number 30, Amon Simon. Number 31, Stan Bedindo. His wife is coached by Alex Cameron, and champion of character award winner is Martin Cortez. Here's the starting left for the Georgia Gwinnett College Grizzlies. In goal, number 1, Matia DeGorvin. Number 5, Ian Irabulu. Number 6, John Louis Fiora. Number 14, Simon Hurst. Number 15, Imani Urban. Number 16, Malik Cornell. Number 17, Kristen Clark. Number 18, Cody Sanchez. Number 23, Alfredo Rivera. Number 24, Marilyn Stein. Number 28, Oscar Summerton. Georgia Gwinnett is coached by Steve Cooper, leading the territory Alfredo Rivera. The national anthem provides student athletes and fans an important and time-honored opportunity to honor our country and recognize its principles. The NAIA asks that you now stand, please remove caps, and continue our respect to America with the playing of our national anthem.
Big thanks to Dale Long, our public address announcer, as we get set for some soccer here in the NAIA opening round. Folks, I've got good news. Temperatures are great. 62 degrees. Could not forecast a better Fahrenheit number for today's opening round matchup. But as you see, the sights and sounds here in Lawrenceville, it's a wet one. I mean, torrential downpour started about 3 a.m. last night, and it has rained all day long. And that's what we're going to get throughout the course of this afternoon, too, as well. These conditions right now, just a steady pour. It's not a drizzle. It's not a flood. It's not a monsoon. It's literally, there's no other way to explain it than raining. It's just going to rain on us for the next couple of hours here in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and hopefully that does not decide who advances to that final site. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape and how these two teams match up, at least on paper. Very comparable strength of schedules, very comparable number of wins, and as a result, you see the very comparable MRPI, which is one of the equations that goes into the seeding of this tournament process. Offensively, very equal. Defensively, very equal. GGC on a little bit of a hot streak. Meanwhile, Life starting to catch their stride too after stubbing their toe in that opening round, or excuse me, in that conference tournament versus Lindsey Wilson. And do not forget, this Life program started reinstated 4 years ago in 2016 with a 1-15 record. Georgia Gwinnett beat that Life team all the way back in 2016 by a score of 4-0. You want to know how much the Running Eagles have progressed? Just this season earlier, Alfredo Rivera's wonder of a goal in the 77th minute got the Grizzlies a win, 3-2. Take the history books, put them alongside that graphic that we just dissolved into the record books, because here we are underway with soccer in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Georgia Gwinnett in the all-white uniforms going to go right to left. Meanwhile, Life in the all-black going to go left to right. Again, the rain is going to fall here all afternoon long. Grizzlies will rotate things out of the back. A little bit different, too, as well for Steve DeCoux from what was that contest back on March 15th that the Grizzlies won 3-2. Alfredo Rivera no longer a member of that midfield. He checks in at left back, so his presence must be felt on those set pieces offensively for Georgia Gwinnett, because he's not going to be able to launch that 40-yard rocket like he did 2 months ago in this game in that 3-2 victory. Worth noting, too, in that contest, shots were dead even at 13 apiece between GGC and Life. Huge difference in that game. Set pieces for the Running Eagles. 9 corner kicks to Grizzlies 2. 9-2. The Running Eagles had a corner kick advantage. GGC's not going to be able to sustain that sort of set piece attack with all the height that the Running Eagles have, with guys like Jamie Lightfoot as well as the target man up top, and Thierry Jules. So GGC on the far side with Malik Thornell. He'll drop it back and he'll keep possession. We saw Life yesterday run a very high-pressure system versus Union College. They created a ton of turnovers in the midfield and had 3 of the best opportunities all day long on those turnovers and short field transitions. And right now we're not seeing that pressure from Life. Thornell crosses into the 18. That one's booted away by Vandendeerdock. And now Kamani Irving sends one to the near side. Return to center for Bagagini. And so Sagi Hirsch, one of 5 seniors for Steve DeCoux, who have been 3 for 3 in opening round national tournament appearances, and he has made it 4 for 4 in his career, but certainly doesn't want to end here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Similar story for Life. 11 seniors that have built this program in the restart in 2016. They have come a long way, wanting to cash in their experiences and their opportunities for a bid to California. This is a long ball headed up. Jules will have it, pressured by Fiora, and that'll be something to look forward to as well. How many times does Fiora go up and win that head ball versus Jules, or does he concede? Dangerous pass here. Aaron Buru, long first touch, but able to recover. And Irving will regroup. Monty Irving sends it long, looking for Kirshner Clark. He's got him in stride. It skips on top of the turf one time. Clark with enough real estate. Going on the end lane, nifty little move, gets around a defender. Now a second center back comes in and helps out, and the Grizzlies get an early corner kick. Rain continues to pour here. We expect over an inch of rain today in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I stand corrected. We're going to get a goal kick out of this. I thought I saw the indication from the center ref that would indicate a goal kick. Maybe something outside of that. I can't imagine it was an offsides call. Whatever the condition may be, it's a restart for life. Heavy rain, heaviest rain we've had all day is falling right now from the sky. Aaron Buru goes up and controls the header. And now Zion comes in, takes over for GGC, drops it back to Sagi Hirsch. Hirsch, plenty of time. Finds the feet of Tiente, AI Player of the Year. Back into Tiente. Now back over to Rivera. He'll play the feet of Gilgorvich. Gilgorvich, the goalkeeper of the year in the AII. Looking to defend that honor here today versus GGC. Should I say versus life for GGC. And so, for the folks that are sitting at home nice and warm and dry, we've got a wet one here in Lawrenceville. We've also pulling some double duty here on the Grizzly Digital Network. We want to wish Mike Giuliano and GGC Women's Soccer good luck in Upland, Indiana, as they are playing Indiana Wesleyan in the same exact game in the same exact moment. So we're pulling double duty here. If we get an update from Upland, Indiana, we will pass that along to you here on the Grizzly Digital Network. And folks, from the looks of things, I'm glad we're here in Lawrenceville and not in Upland, Indiana. That is snow falling from the sky there on the campus of Taylor University. So again, you keep an eye on this one in Lawrenceville. We'll keep a third eye on Upland, Indiana, too, as well. We'll have updates. We've got you covered, all Grizzly fans in all shapes and sizes. Irving, far side. Finds the feet of Aaron Buru. Aaron Buru looking to play long. Finds Thornell in stride. Can't connect with him. And that's going to be the biggest change and the biggest challenge in the weather condition for these players. Those long balls are going to skip on top of the wet, slick turf. Now, as far as the turf goes, you're not going to find a better playing surface, especially given these conditions. Not going to be any mud or divots or slipping or sliding, nothing like that. But the ball is going to skip on top of that turf like a flat rock on a lake. And so those long balls, you can't assume is going to check up like a 9-iron in golf on the green. No. It's going to scoot. You got to really get out in front of that ball and hope it gets to you. If you find yourself chasing the ball, you're never going to get there. So keep an eye on that moving forward. In the midfield, Thornellis pumps it back to his teammate, Neighbor. Neighbor, left foot, long one. Issue toward Jules, him and Fiora, belly to back. Play continues. Rivera cuts it off from Gilgorvich and finds the feet of Irving. Jules will be that target forward, the Mid-South Player of the Year. We saw him limp off the field twice yesterday, banged and bruised after 110 minutes of soccer for the entire Running Eagles squad. They get a 24-hour turnaround into this game in the rain versus Georgia Gwinnett. Fiora progresses forward. Tries to fumble it toward Tiente. Got deflected. Clark tried to recover and unable to do it. The loose player in the midfield is Serrera. Serrera gets some help back toward Baccagini. He'll switch the field over to Jules. Jules all the way on that far sideline. Gets an overlapping run, bypasses it. Now he'll send it toward this far corner, and there's no one home there. And that one will roll all the way to Fire Station 31, our friends across the street. First 7 minutes of play. Not a real opportunity for either team. No shots recorded just yet. Only one whistle and a foul. The only thing that shows up in the stat sheet. This may be a patient effort today by these players. Yesterday was fast and furious, Life versus Union. 2-2 all the way down to the wire, then ended up going to penalty kicks. This one, maybe a hair more conservative. Summer Camp with a long ball, challenging for it. He'll win it into the final third. Needs some help. Comes back out to Hirsch. Hirsch and Summer Camp kind of get tied up a little bit. Summer Camp goes down hard, but the restart coming for Life as the official wants to check on Summer Camp, who just needs a minute to breathe. And the wind knocked out of him there. Thumbs up to the ref and the teammates. He'll stay in the match. I lied to you 5 minutes ago. Now it's raining harder than it's ever has all day long. Ball in the midfield for Life. Through ball. Trying to find Jules. Can't do so. Hirsch takes it away. And Aaron Buru finds Tiente. Tiente pressured pretty quickly by Sadie. And Tiente gets it back. Finds Aaron Buru. Wide to Sagi Hirsch. Rivera over to Tiente. Tiente threads up to Kirshner Clark, our hero from the AI Championship. Cornell and Clark keeps it alive to Tiente. Back to Kamani Irving. Jules using that 6'8" wingspan to try to cut down the distance on Irving. He's able to get out of danger. Fior wide to Hirsch. 10-minute assessment here as you start to fill out these teams. Life with a completely different game plan than what was yesterday. They sent a lot of pressure. Clark streaking in behind the defense. It's on his feet, progressing forward into the box. He takes a tumble. Play's going to continue there. A little bit of contact, but Clark really never had possession. As Life will work things out of the back. And so Life, much different strategy from yesterday to today. Here they are working in transition. Grizzlies have numbers back, however. A right-footed strike and a tough errant shot there by Sornellis will end up out of play, and Life will get the first corner kick of the match. GGC gave up 9 corner kicks to Life earlier this season, a regular season match. They cannot afford to put that same number up on the board and survive like they did on September 15th. There's a good look at the conditions there, folks. Venden near Doc. Near post, headed out of danger. Nice job by Alfredo Rivera. Man down inside the box. I believe that's Fiora. Fiora's in pain, too. John Marie Fiora, who had an emotional finish in reaction in the AI Championship, was crowned the most outstanding player as a result of his efforts. Let me back up there. That's actually going to be Ian Aaron Brewer. We'll stop that story there. Because it's Fiora that's been battling injuries all season long, and it came to fruition, the hard work in the training room, being named the most outstanding player. Ian is fine. He's just fine. He's been fine all year. No emotional story there for Ian. Get up, Ian. He'll be fine. No, Ian got a lot to play for. First team all-conference selection this senior season. Doesn't want it to end here. 10 minutes into the matchup in Upland, Indiana with GGC women's soccer. The snow is starting to stick to the ground. It was a green turf field they're playing on at Taylor. Now it's turned into white. Right-footed strike for Life here in Lawrenceville. Ball inside the 18. Alfredo Rivera's in the neighborhood. And again, same thing. A little bit of contact there, but nothing worth deeming a penalty. Left for the strike by Diaz. Into the box, looking for Jules. Headed away by Fiora. Loose ball outside the 18. Sadie trying to collect it in. Tiente turns it away. Tries to go over top of Lightfoot. Clark applying pressure, as is Summer Camp, and he's got no choice but to boot that one to the side, and luckily he's got a teammate there. Zen. Pressured in the midfield. So again, early 10-minute assessment, we see a little bit of strategy by both these head coaches. Alex Palma wanted to play a lot more conservative than what he did yesterday. He's got a little bit of a scouting report that said they're probably going to rely on set pieces, use their height to their advantage. And if they're able to create turnovers in the midfield, counterattack that way. But GGC's had numbers behind the ball each time Life has tried to do that. Here's a ball into Jules over top of his head, and Saki Hirsch is there. Meanwhile, for Steve DeCou, they were able to keep possession and keep the ball, and that's definitely an MO for a Grizzly team. Seems like they've dialed in and calibrated the long ball just a little bit to have a peak of hope, but nothing too crazy yet. Summer Camp in the midfield looking to play long. Clark turns on the Jets. He will get to it in time and have some real estate to work with. Turns back around looking for the Cavalry. Nifty little fancy move on Neighbor. Looking across. This deflected by Neighbor. Back around the 18. Headed down by Sornellis. Long ball up top, and now we get a whistle and a foul against John Marie Fiora. He can't believe it. Well, you got to battle up against 6'8". Sometimes you got to do what's necessary. And I think that's an early riff we're going to see a lot of today. And the fact that Fiora maybe feels a little inferior against the 6'8" Jules and may have to go above and beyond to defend his goal. So we'll see how that whistle goes throughout the day. Opportunity here for Life. Set pieces are going to be their magic. Martin Cortez stands over top of it. Brings his teammate Felipe Bagatini. Cortez, where's the captain's band? Champions of character as well. Long ball left side. Challenged by Aaron Buru. In the neighborhood is Diaz as well, and that one will be cleared off not in time, and a goal kick coming for GGC. Some off-field storylines for you here. Yesterday, quite the token to athletic director for life, and Jane Pendergast purchased the first 33 tickets for students that made the road trip from Marietta, Georgia, all the way here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. They had the Spirit Squad, the mascot, the flags. They were out in full force. They lined the sideline in that penalty kick shootout too as well, and created quite the energy in the atmosphere to support their Life Eagles in that opening round contest yesterday. Today I haven't seen the mascot. Meanwhile, to counteract that just a little bit, Georgia Gwinnett College president and Dr. Jan Joseph sent an email out on Friday that she will cover all student tickets that had elected to attend today's match in the opening round to support GGC. Now, whether they took advantage of it, I'm not sure. They could be all tuned in on the broadcast right now. Torrential rain falling here in Lawrenceville. Sagi Hurst on the set piece, lets it slip once and now twice, the second time from Zine, and Life was ready for it. Alfredo Rivera, nifty heel flick to Sagi Hurst. Here comes across, backdoor. Fiore is there, but it's over top of his head. He couldn't get the angle on it, and it's headed out of play. Nifty heel from Rivera, and a good ball there by Sagi Hurst. It's just Fiore a little bit too tucked in and over the mouth of the goal. Ball in the midfield. Popped up toward the Life attacking half. Monty Irving will shield his man away and create a restart. Worth noting too, both these teams had 13 fouls in the contest back on September 15th. I don't think there's anything malicious by that note, but I just think you're going to find a really tough match today. These two teams battling for position. I will say I don't think the number of whistles will rack up as much. This referee seems a little bit more composed and a little bit of a calm demeanor, not as whistle or card happy. Aaron Buru in the midfield gets the restart, trying to find Summercamp. He's in a foot fight. And now Summercamp goes down too lightly, says the official. Again, very conservative whistle. And there was definitely contact there, but Summercamp just goes down too easy for the referee's liking. Now a ball, far sideline. Some mass confusion here as the fans start to chime in on Summercamp's no whistle. And at this point, the fans just maybe want to scream at somebody. Standing here in the rain, looks up at the scoreboard. We've only been here for 15 minutes. Got another hour plus of this. They're going to earn their team stripes today. Rivera, near side, finds Sagi Hirsch. Hirsch over to Tiente. Tiente in the midfield, finds Summercamp, posted up, dumps it off to Irving. Irving with time and space, he'll progress forward, trying to thread the needle down to Clark. Clark is able to get a boot on it just outside the 18, draws the defender with him too as well. Out to Thornell, Thornell across, into the box over top of the mosh pit. Magatini with a clearance, trying to find a teammate, and he does. Nifty little move by Sadie. Sadie did not play yesterday, gets the start today in that midfield. Out to the far side. Here's Thornellis. Thornellis with a shot. That's wide of the mark and high too as well. It might have been deflected, and it was. Corner kick coming for Life. This will be their, we'll go with second corner kick of this half. I hope it's not third. Quick update, Upland, Indiana. Similar story. It's raining here in Lawrenceville. We got no score. In Upland, Indiana, it's snowing and no score. Both clocks about right on cue in the 17th minute. Vanderdick here in Lawrenceville. All the way over top of the mosh pit, getting ahead on a little bit of his summer camp. Fiore wants to give it chase, and he'll push things out to the center back, and Bagatini. He'll send a line drive back toward the 18. It might have been tipped, and luckily Gilgorovich is able to track it down. Tiente gets it back from Zion. Swings it wide to Lonnie Irving. This Life team, more than a feather in a cap of what they've accomplished in 4 short years. The program being reinstated back in 2016. An inaugural season, they went 1-15. That's right, folks. 1 win, 15 losses, just 4 short years ago. They parlayed that turnaround into a 9-9 record, followed by a 9-10-1 record. Then this 11-member senior class has really turned things around and put them on a national spotlight. They get ranked for the first time inside that NAIA Top 24 with that last regular season poll that came out in the first week in November. They're checked in at number 23 in the poll thanks to that 8-0 record in the Mid-South Conference play. Picked up their first national tournament victory since 1999, in which they went to three-peat, 97, 98, and 99. And now here they are, reinstating the program in 2016, and they're back in that national tournament in 2019. Meanwhile, GGC, some veteran experience when it comes to national tournaments and opening round. This senior class has qualified for the national tournament all 4 years of their careers, and they've had quite the result too as well, getting to that final site in each of the last 2 years, thanks to a win at home versus Southern Oregon their sophomore year, and a 4-0 shellacking of Southeastern on the road last year, their junior year. And they're looking to get back to that final site for the 3rd consecutive time. In order to do that, they need a win here today versus Life. GGC has been to the final site now, been to the national tournament for 6 times now, thanks to 5 AI championships in that large bird. So the 6th trip to the national tournament is this one here. They're fortunate enough to slide in on the bubble as a host and the 16th ranked national seeded team. Alfredo Rivera, long ball to Clark, but he's offsides. Flag up on the far end. Folks, don't adjust your speakers there. We're not on the AM radio dial there. That static that you hear is literally the rain hitting the microphone. That's how hard it's raining right now. Certainly glad to have everybody aboard live on the website, ggcathletics.com. You're watching the Grizzly Digital Network, a 100% student-run crew that currently is not getting paid enough. And Chris, Rose, Jacob, and Art bringing you the sights and sounds from Lawrenceville, Georgia. I'm Matt Mahoney, the voice of the Grizzlies. Glad to have everybody aboard. Don't be afraid to get on Twitter and use the hashtag NAIAMsoccer. Long ball toward Gilgorovich, header by Jules, and he puts it home. There's the height advantage for Life University, the Mid-South Conference Player of the Year. And Thierry Jules rises above the competition. Even the goalkeeper and Matija Gilgorovich, and the 6'8" header finds the back of the net, and Life leads 1-0. And what seemed just a casual long ball from about 40 yards out. Jules too tall for anyone on the pitch to guard, and he puts it home on the back door. Life leads 1-0. Worth noting, earlier in that regular season match in September, Life scored first in the 22nd minute. And what do you know, they score again here in the 22nd minute. So Jules with now 11 goals on the season. He has the all-time record for career goals scored for Life, dating back to the reinstatement in 2016. And Life is going to lean on him to provide some spark at the top of that rotation. Ball in the midfield, Sagi Hurst wins a foot fight. He's taken down and now we get a whistle. Let's get an opportunity here, Chris, if you can cue up that replay. As this is just a casual ball from around midfield. And we'll get to it the next opportunity. As Federal Rivera with a quick start. Tiente in the midfield. Out to Thornell. Thornell back out to Irving. Ball pinballing around in the midfield. Tiente trying to win it, and he does. Finds Aaron Buru. Gets it off the Zine with a great look here, trying to thread the needle into Clark, couldn't do so. Aaron Brewer wide to Thornell. You already see a little bit of change in tactics in life as those three layers of a formation, the back line, the midfield, and the forwards. With GGC having the ball, the midfielders and the back line don't have a whole lot of separation. They're all packed in about 15 yards, maybe even 20 at the most, trying to really congest traffic right there in top of the 18, making the Grizzlies go around this formation outside of the 18 and to cross things back in the box, which Life feels is their advantage in the height. Irving settles on the turf. Again, the lone player for Life not behind the ball is Thierry Jules. He's just to the right of your screen, standing on top of the G-claw. All other 10 players are back behind the ball. See, the separation between that back line and the midfield isn't all of 15 yards. That's exactly what the Running Eagles are trying to do. Make things congested, create turnovers, and work the counterattack. Zion trying to spread them out a little bit with a long-distance shot, but it's an easy save for Peckrell's first of the day. Because by compacting things in a little bit, you're going to make things easy for the goalkeeper with some long-distance shots. Or Grizzlies going to have to knife their way through with some 1-2s. Because the hard part about this, you think, well, there's 21 minutes left in the first half. This isn't the second half. But the rain and the condition and the scouting report and the challenge by the Running Eagles, they think this one goal is good enough. Summer camp taken down. Free kick coming for the Grizzlies. Again, as slow as the game may have started back in September, Life led 1-0 at halftime. The Grizzlies came burning out of the second half, getting 2 quick goals from Edward Raji. Alfredo Rivera into the box. This one's chested down by Jules. It squirts out of the 18 initially. And now Malik Thornell trying to win it. And he does. Can't connect with Aaron Brewer. Here comes a counterattack. Grizzlies have numbers theoretically here. But now long ball and an opportunity, creating space. Is Serrera. Serrera going back toward the middle. Jules with a shot. It was over Gilgorovic's head, but it's wide of the mark. Mattia got caught a little bit in no man's land as he cut down the angle on Serrera, but he left the mouth of the goal wide open, and Jules wasn't able to get a good boot on it. Gilgovic goes short. Kante in the midfield. And again, as the Grizzlies possess this ball and move down the pitch, watch the black shirts just retreat back and retreat back and retreat back and try to just compact things in. To the average fan, you say, well, they're going to park the bus for the next hour or so. It's not quite parking the bus. It's conservative, I'll give you that, but it's extremely tactical. Life has a game plan here. Plus parking the bus, you just feel like you take bullets for the next hour, and I don't think Life plans on doing that. So Ellis, he'll let a rocket with a right foot go, and that one heads up toward the top of the hill. There is not a fiber of dry material on anyone out there on the pitch. They are soaked to the bone. And some will embrace it, some will curl up into a ball and not want this moment and this opportunity. But I haven't seen any of that just yet. That's why my career has taken me up here underneath the tent, not down there on the sideline. I do remember for days like today, I'd have an extra pair of socks in my bag, and I'd want to put some dry socks and some dry shoes on at halftime. But the counter argument to that is, what's the point? The 2 minutes you're going to spend out there in the second half, they're going to be just as wet as they were from the first half. I don't disagree with you, but sometimes them boots will get pretty heavy when they're soaking wet. Rivera switching the field long. Over to Irving. Up the path to Clark. Up to Fiore. And Buru taking it into midfield. Swings it wide to Sagi Hurst. Got room out here. Looking to cross. Headed to the back post. Tracking it. Clark knocks it down. Loose ball in the 6. No one's able to get to it. Tiente with a nifty touch. He's trying to find the shot. It's blocked and denied. Tackle by Zinn. Still going around. Squirts out of the 18 by Life. Best sequence for GGC. Peckrell might have gambled a little bit when he didn't need to. Here's Jules. Offsides. Offsides. That is what GGC is going to be fearful of. Because those turnovers and that transition in the midfield. Jules feels like he needs 2 or 3 bodies on him to try to be stopped. If he gets the one-on-one, he's going to feel pretty confident, as will Life. And again, that is a tall order for John Murray Fiore, the AI tournament's most outstanding player. I'm not saying Jama can't do it. And I'm not saying we should do anything different, but it's a challenge. Irving plays it up into Clark. Clark can't handle the hot one. Pinballing around, Life wins it away. Tante trying to get it on top of the turf, unable to do so, and this one's sliced down Collins Hill Road. And a restart coming for Thornell. Irving into the midfield, finds Aaron Brewer, he'll turn. Gives it out to Rivera. Plenty of time and space. He'll send one into the box. Not a shot. That's a looper into Zane. Comes back out toward the 18. Trapped down by Sadie. And now cleared out of the back. And again, Alfredo Rivera was our hero back on September 15th. He queued up a shot from 40 yards out, known as Rivera's Rocket, as the assassin took the life out of the running Eagles and won 3-2. And that performance back on September 15th, it kept the Grizzlies perfect at 3-0 versus Life all time. But Life kept their head down, won 10 matches in a row after that loss to GGC. 10 in a row, including 8-0 in conference play in the Mid-South. I cannot overemphasize that enough, how impressive it is for a restarted men's soccer program to run through the University of Cumberland, Campbellsville, Cumberland University, Lindsey Wilson especially, to be 8-0 in conference play. Tiente up the path to summer camp, a little give and go. Tiente gets it back, threading it through the needle. Might have hit Zion in the hand, and it did, hitting right on the bicep. The Grizzlies trying to knife their way through that defense here in this first half. This match 30 minutes old. Life leads 1-0. A goal in the 22nd minute, assisted by Sergio Serrera. Found the head of Thierry Jules. And Life leads 1-0. A couple of fouls for both teams. Peckrell's got a save. Gilgorovich only had one shot on goal. It found the back of the net. This one comes to the backside, and Gilgorovich handles it nicely. This time, Alfredo Rivera and Jules get into it, and the referee not even going to let that conversation happen. And a sportsmanlike effort there by Rivera to help out Jules. Two competitors going toe-to-toe. Zine, far side. Thornell keeps it in play. Back to Zine. Zine, right foot into the box. It'll slice towards Summercamp. Summercamp gets a settle, and it might have hit him in a forearm. It did. It skipped off the shin guard of Cortez, ended up in the lap of Summercamp, but it happened, it ricocheted too close to Summercamp, and he couldn't react. So it'll be a restart for Life. Another update from Upland, Indiana. Georgia Gwinnett and Indiana Wesleyan on the NAIA women's soccer side in the opening round. They're still locked into a scoreless contest. Their 31st minute. Indiana Wesleyan has created 11 shots. Georgia Gwinnett just 5. And GGC has half the number of shots on goal, trailing 6-3 in that category. And that field is covered in snow. I mean, the best way I can imagine is imagine the temperature being about 35 degrees cooler here in Lawrenceville. That's the same type of precipitation that's coming down in Indiana right now, except the temperature is different. It's turning into snow. Substitution here, and this is a really smart move by Alex Palma. He gets about 5 of his subs off the pitch right now, because after playing 110 minutes yesterday, this ball's inside the 6. Jules has it again and almost puts it in again. He was inside the 6 around 4 Grizzlies and headed it down right at his feet. What an athlete 11 is. But back to head coach Alex Palma, getting 4 players off the bench here in the final 13 minutes is going to be huge because they played 110 minutes yesterday. De La Rosa can't keep that from going out of play. The Life team played 110 minutes in addition to the stress of penalty kicks yesterday versus Union College. So you're going to need to rest those legs as much as possible. That's a smart move there. Gets 4 of the top 5 members at the top of that formation in the midfield and the forwards some extra rest here at halftime. The one guy who doesn't is Jules, and you can imagine why. Peckrell. Now right foot. Now midfield. Jules wins that one. Tries to get it to the sub and Lawrence. We get a foot fight, no whistle, no call, play continues. I think both sides thought that should have been a foul for their respective squad, but the referee said play on. Ball far side, last touch by Aaron Brewer, so Life will get a restart. And again, about a little bit more than 11 minutes till halftime. And for the diehard green and gray fans out there, it's not looking good in Lawrenceville or Upland. A lot of momentum on Indiana Wesleyan side on the women's bracket up on Indiana. And of course a lot of momentum here for Life in Lawrenceville, Georgia. The only difference is GGC on the men's side here on your screen trails 1-0. Mike Giuliano and company still locked in at 0-0. We'll keep you updated on both as they continue to progress through this opening round. There were 15 games yesterday. 15 games yesterday on the men's side of things. We'll go through that bracket at halftime with you. It's hard to say upset when the 2-3 seeds got to play on Friday, but there was one big upset. I mean, one that was like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. And it came in weird, awkward fashion too as well. We'll tease that for you, and we'll have an update from a national scope at halftime. And again, from a national tournament standpoint, the winner of this contest will punch their ticket as one of the 32 remaining teams in hope to win a national championship in Irvine, California, which starts next Monday, the Monday after Thanksgiving. So not November 25th, try December 2nd. And while the loser of this game season comes to a screeching halt. There's no more at-large bids, there's no more second chances, there's no loser's bracket. Win or go home. Tante in the midfield. Back to Rivera. Into Aaron Buru. Aaron Buru chips it ahead, looking for De La Rosa. De La Rosa gets it at his feet, looking to find a window, trying to go left. He'll go shot, back post. De La Rosa finds it. De La Rosa finds it. De La Rosa finds it. We've hit the equalizer. Carlos De La Rosa knots things up at 1-1. Carlos De La Rosa, who likes playing Life University, a year ago up in Marietta, he scored the first goal of the game en route to the Grizzlies' 3-0 win in 2018. Now here in 2019, De La Rosa comes off the bench and comes to life again against the Running Eagles. Carlos De La Rosa finds a ball at his feet at the 18, gets a window of opportunity to his left, finishes on the back door, and the Grizzlies have tied this ball game up at 1-1 right before half. So a great effort by GGC again in transition. Unable for Life to compact things down. A long ball, not over top of the defense, but to the feet of a white shirt at the 18 is the difference here in this first half. Carlos De La Rosa in his senior season at Sugar Hill, Georgia, And that's just his second goal of the year. He's had to shift his role a little bit. He's come off the bench in his career. And really, Coach DeCou trying to find an answer at the top of that formation. De La Rosa just couldn't get comfortable with the personnel around him. It's not a knock on him or Coach DeCou. You just need time when you got new teammates and new guys in the infield. And Marwan Zain in the midfield, and Tony Tiente, and Alex Rivera, and it's just been a revolving door. Now Ian Aramburu, and trying to get on the same page with those guys. And how do you counterbalance somebody like Kirshner Clark, and how do you counterbalance somebody at the top of that formation like Edward Raji? You just got to find your role and be patient. That's what De La Rosa has done in his senior season. No bigger goal than that one there. Saki Hurst with a looper to the back post. Out comes Peckwell, and he'll secure that one. Grizzlies working a combo. Zine dribbling downhill into the box, back to De La Rosa. De La Rosa touching the box, maybe a touch too many. Keeps possession alive, draws a double team. Back out to Hirsch. Hirsch, left foot knifing into the box, no flick. Thornell is there. Thornell with a shot and a finish! The sensational senior class of Georgia Gwinnett, Malik Thornell out of Snellville, Georgia, nets a goal. Malik Thornell gets his first goal of his senior season after 4 assists on the year. Thornell, our Grizzly of the day from earlier in the year, is a culmination of his hard work and efforts. And what do you know, 2 guys that hadn't scored all season long in their senior seasons go back to back right before halftime. Grizzlies lead 2-1 in Lawrenceville. Play resumes here. Georgia Gwinnett has shifted the tide as the storm has rolled into Lawrenceville. They're looking to repeat history as Life scored first in the 22nd minute in their regular season match. And GGC went back-to-back right after halftime, capturing the momentum. Well, here in the postseason, in the rematch, Georgia Gwinnett goes back-to-back right before halftime. And only 2.5 minutes later, after Ian Aramburu assisted Carlos De La Rosa, Malik Thornell gets a shot and an opportunity, and he puts it in the back of the net. And so the balanced attack for Georgia Gwinnett continues. Tony Tiente, the AI Player of the Year, certainly draws some attention. Meanwhile, Kirshner Clark, very formidable finisher in his own right, hits the game-winning goal in the championship game versus Bellevue. Then you mix in Alfredo Rivera's 5 goals on the season, including the rocket by Rivera against this Life team that they certainly remember. And so from the scouting report standpoint, you got to scroll a little bit down to find Malik Thornell and Carlos De La Rosa. And that's what's happened here. Both seniors had net a total of 0 goals in their senior year, but come up big for Georgia Gwinnett. Now all of a sudden the stat sheet looks quite even. 3 shots for Life, 3 shots for Georgia Gwinnett. All 3 shots have been on frame for the Grizzlies. 3 fouls for each team, no cards. 1 save still by Peckrell. 2 corner kicks for Life, 1 for Georgia Gwinnett. And GGC leads in the category that matters most at 2-1 in a driving rainstorm. So GGC, keeping with the plan of attack here as life seems a little bit on their heels. Zine out to Hirsch. Hirsch looking to play too steep of an angle. They right at Peckrell. It goes between his hands and it almost slips into the goal. Sagi Hirsch definitely misstruck that, but above Peckrell's head, didn't get his thumbs together. And the wet ball and the combination of the wet gloves almost was a nightmare for the Running Eagle goalkeeper. Aaron Brewer wins the long ball. Plays it wide to Sagi Hirsch. Sagi Hirsch and De La Rosa, the goal scorer. Got to Aaron Brewer. De La Rosa, some fancy footwork. Out to Aaron Brewer, switching the field to Irving. Kamani Irving, not on the same page with Thornell, and creates a tough turnover. This spells danger. This is what life likes. This is their MO. This is how they scored twice yesterday versus Union. Lawrence, far side, trying to find a teammate in Cortez. Still possessed thing as a midfield. Sadie, up the path to Magnuson. Magnuson swings it wide. Here's a ball directed toward, I'm not sure who, but it's off the mark clearly. And it'll be a goal kick coming for GGC. Georgia Gwinnett in its 6th NAIA opening round appearance. And let's go back down memory lane, shall we, folks? The first time ever we were eligible for postseason play in the NAIA all the way back in 2013. They shipped us down to Daytona Beach, Florida, and we lost on a penalty kick 1-0. That was the first lesson we learned. The second lesson we learned was a year later at home versus Northwestern Ohio. And we realized what the opening round was all about as the racers boat raced the Grizzlies that day 3-0. And then a fight, an absolute dogfight, and another rematch from the regular season with Thomas in 2016. Traveling down to Thomasville, Georgia, the Nighthawks would beat the Grizzlies in overtime on an absolute rocket from 18 yards out. And then you cashed it in 2017. Home win versus Southern Oregon, a back-and-forth contest. Grizzlies would go on to go to the quarterfinals. And then last year, a road win in the opening round, beating Southeastern for a second straight final site appearance. Now, here in a 5-member senior season, they're looking to go to the final site for the 3rd year in a row. Can they do it with a win versus life? Foul on Zine. Referee with a palm down to the Running Eagle member that committed the foul just to say, hey, relax a little bit, it'll be okay. There's a tough turnover here, and a knifing shot ends up off the boot of Tiente into Jules. Jules surrounded by a couple of Grizzlies. He'll play a through ball. It is deflected by Fior, and a halfway clearance will come to the near side. They'll be able to go off the inline for a corner kick. 90 seconds till halftime. This will be the 3rd corner kick for the Running Eagles, and this is where they are good. Vanderdendock clears one inside the 6. Zine can't get to it, but it'll ricochet off the chest of Eddie Diaz. And it'll be a goal kick coming for GGC. Gregorevich, a quick start over to Rivera. Rivera over top. 25 seconds remaining. Find De La Rosa. De La Rosa to his feet. De La Rosa to the cross. Can't connect with Clark. This goes off the end line. And again, with 17 seconds and counting, the Grizzlies have to scramble to get this corner kick. If only this time wasn't officially kept on the scoreboard. Rivera runs to the corner flag looking for a ball. You'd be able to finish this possession in every other league in the world except for college soccer. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and set it out. And there's your halftime horn. Here in Lawrenceville, 2-1, Georgia Gwinnett comes storming back in a come-from-behind effort. Back-to-back goals for the Grizzlies. The first one by Carlos De La Rosa, his first of the season in his senior year. followed up just 2 minutes later by Malik Thornell's first goal of the season in the 38th minute. And the Grizzlies lead 2-1 here in Lawrenceville at halftime. Quick update for you in Upland, Indiana. Mike Giuliano and the Grizzlies are also at halftime in the opening round, but they are locked in at 0-0. Indiana Wesleyan is out shooting Georgia Gwinnett on the women's side 16-7 in a snowstorm right now. The turf is completely covered with snow as they're at the break in Upland, Indiana, and so are we here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Everyone's having to deal with the weather and the elements, but right now Georgia Gwinnett on top 2-1, and Steve DeCoux and company feeling good about themselves heading into this halftime locker room. We're going to take a break. We'll come back here in about 12 minutes. We'll bring you first half highlights and a recap here in Lawrenceville, Georgia, the NAIA men's soccer opening round here on the Grizzly Digital Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. 2-1 is your score. Georgia Gwinnett on top of Life University, as 15 matches were played yesterday across the nation in the NAIA men's soccer opening round, and some of the brackets had some significant shakeups. Houston Victoria beat Martin Methodist. Slight upset there. Martin Methodist probably the favorite. However, we had a total of 2 contests going to penalty kicks, with the Grizzlies nemesis to start the year, Huntington out of Indiana, advanced on penalty kicks over Cardinal Stritch in a slight upset, and a weird 2-0 penalty kick score with a lot of misses in that. And then the score that went through the ticker and sent shockwaves through the NAIA. Our friends down at Southeastern lose in penalty kicks to John Brown, and so John Brown will advance to play Lindsey Wilson today. That game time's been pushed back to 8:15. And that's some of the scores of significance from around the country. Kaiser beats Campbellsville in overtime on a golden goal, too, as well. Madonna beats Cumberland's. That's about all of the scores that our Grizzly fans are going to recognize. So GGC and Life were one of the first games to get underway across the nation in this opening round, as 15 teams will collide today to determine who will end up in Irvine, California. We're going to take a quick look at our first half highlights here in Lawrenceville, and this is where the scoring got started. A beautiful ball by Bagagini to the back door. Not much of a contest there, as 6'8", the Airy Jules rises the occasion, skies over top of the competition, and puts in the back of the net in the 22nd minute. Then a beautiful ball by Ian Maramburu, as Carlos De La Rosa wins it, settles it, turns the corner, and slices it into the back door. The Grizzlies would have the equalizer on De La Rosa's first goal of the season in the 36th minute. Then, just 2 minutes later, it's Malik Thornell getting a gift back toward the 18, puts a left-footed strike on it. Peckrell frozen on the shot, and the Grizzlies have a 2-1 advantage on Malik Thornell's first goal of the season. And that is your story here in Lawrenceville, Georgia, as Georgia Gwinnett leads 2-1. GGC is committed to the NAIA Champions of Character principles of integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. Keep playing, keep learning, keep growing. Game on. Learn more about the Champions of Character initiative, the opportunity NAIA at NAIA.org. So we get ready to go here. We're going to flip-flop sides. Life in the all-black uniform is going to go right to left. Georgia Gwinnett in the all-white uniform is going to go left to right. GGC women's soccer up in Upland, Indiana, just getting their second half underway as well, and they are locked in at 0-0. We'll keep you updated on both Upland and Lawrenceville throughout the course of this second half. First half stats too as well. 3 shots for both teams. GGC with 3 shots on goal, just 1 save for Peckrell. 3 fouls, a trio of fouls for both these teams, and 3 corner kicks for Life and 2 for Georgia Gwinnett, as GGC leads 2-1 here. We get ready for second half action here in Gwinnett County. Steve DeCoux with that starting lineup. Looks like he's going to shake it up a little bit here, as looks like he's going to go with a new back line of Sagi Hirsch, Liam Neeson, John Marie Fiora, Alfredo Rivera, and Malik Thornell. In the midfield, Ian Aramburu, Tony Tiente, and Marwan Zine. And then up top, De La Rosa and Edward Raji. So Edward Raji, much like that performance in September, played 0 minutes in the first half, started the second half, and scored 2 quick goals to start the second 45 period and gave the Grizzlies a 2-1 lead. GGC repeated that performance, but they did it right before halftime in a 2-1 lead. And again, don't forget, Life had an equalizer in them with Reyes Hernandez back in the 73rd minute. And so that was back in September. Here we are in November. Running Eagles will have some heartbeats left in them thanks to an 11-member senior class. Nifty little footwork by Zine. Down the path, looking for De La Rosa. They'll connect. De La Rosa looking to get numbers in the box. Back toward the 18. Zine is there. Zine with a shot. It's deflected off of Edward Raji. Raji was in the way of the bullet. It was headed for the intended target. Unfortunate break there for GGC. Ball down the path. 10 for Jules. And a foot fight with Fiora. And Jules just fumbles it out of bounds. So Jules there, potential All-American candidate and the Player of the Year of the Mid-South Conference. Wreaked havoc on that Union back four yesterday. It looks like Steve DeCou's going to make adjustment this second half and go with a back five. It'll be a 5-3-2 attack for DeCou in this second half. See if Alex Palmer and company adjusts. So, set piece here for Georgia Gwinnett. Alfredo Rivera is going to tee this one up. He steps it off. This is going to strike this on frame, and Peckrell may get nightmares. Rivera sweeps this one into the box, but no one's home in the back door. So that'll be a goal kick coming for Peckrell and Life. This Life team restarted soccer back in 2016. That inaugural season, that restart season, it went 1-15. Now here they are with an impressive 14-4 mark and in the NAIA National Tournament. Their last NAIA National Tournament appearance was back in 1999, flag up on De La Rosa. That's right, they went 3 consecutive trips to the NAIA National Championship in 97, 98, and 99. And the last time that Life qualified for the national tournament was a year that the NAIA changed their national tournament format as well as the teams. Here's a dangerous ball here by Alfredo Rivera. He lets it get past him. Jules with a swing and miss, contact with Rivera, and the referee's going to award a penalty kick. Jules got the call, and now we're going to get a meeting of the best. Yesterday, we saw Martin Cortez attempt a penalty kick against Union College. He went to the right and about halfway up the goal. The question is, does Gilgorovich know that? Now, to really put the storyline in perspective, yesterday Union College had one player take 2 penalty kicks, one in regulation and then another in overtime, going to his strengths both times. And Peckrell remembered the first attempt and went in that direction and came up with the save. So the question to begin with, does Gilgorovich know which way Cortez likes to go? Cortez is left-footed, and Cortez is ready to take this kick, but they've got bigger issues here with Thierry Jules. He went down, I thought, undoubtedly because of the contact and the circumstances. Now John Marie Fiora talking things over with Cortez as if to try to get in his mind. All this is happening just to the right of your screen. And now coming in to interrupt the meeting is Eddie Diaz. So a little bit of a mind game here. And again, Cortez stands over this ball as if he's ready to kick. He's been standing there ever since the whistle's blown. Meanwhile, Jules gets up on his own power, but he'll be helped off. And he limped off the field twice yesterday in that second half versus Union. He finished the contest, but you wonder how healthy he is here. As he exits stage right, you see Cortez has been in that statue for quite some time now. This could be the equalizer for Life in just the 50th minute. Cortez with his left foot, again, pulled it, went to the right, our right, his right, as you're looking at the screen. Gilgorovich needs to go toward the scoreboard if he learned or saw yesterday's penalty kick attempt. Does Life have another breath? They do. He went with the changeup. He went to his strong side, the left side, but took a little bit off of it and went low. Life's got an equalizer in the 50th. So the Running Eagles got another heartbeat here in the second half. This is almost an identical story of what happened in September. Stay with me here. Life scored first in the 22nd. Grizzlies go back-to-back to take a 2-1 advantage. Life scores again in the second half. And then Alfredo Rivera was our hero at the game winner of a rocket of a right foot from 40 yards out in the 77th. here in November in this match. We get an early goal from Life in the 22nd minute. We get back-to-back goals by George Gwinnett to take a 2-1 lead. And now we get an equalizer by Life. Now we get another Life player down. I cannot tell. But yeah, that's number 6. That's Juan Neighbor, the senior to Woodstock, which is almost neighboring Marietta on the northwest side of the city. So him and Edward Raji collided. And it's going to be a restart for Life. I think you're seeing quite the strategy out of both these coaches pulling some strings. Neighbor wants to let the hometown crowd know that his Life Eagles, Running Eagles, have made the trip across Metro Atlanta. Trying to get them motivated, get them going, left foot toward the back post. Neeson there, and Sagi Hurst will clear it off. And again, we got an eye on Theanry Jules, who's at the training table to the left of the bench. More collisions and bodies all over the place. De La Rosa continues. And Raji's to his feet. Near side, Thornell keeps possession. Back to De La Rosa. Rivera's got some heat. Finds Tiente. Tiente with a tough first touch, pops it up, and now settles back to Fiora. And again, Life had an early advantage. Then they went conservative, and GGC was able to strategize a way to get 2 goals in. Then GGC and Steve DeCou makes an adjustment at halftime, changing the formation to a 5-3-2. And now Life converts the penalty kick, and who will make the next adjustment? Header won by Fiora. Left foot, this one smashed in behind the defense, giving a chase. Will be Sornellis. Fiora recovers, heads it out of bounds. Corner kick coming for Life. Quick update from Upland, Indiana. I think a hockey match has broken out there in the opening round of the Women's Soccer National Championship. The field has at least a quarter to half an inch of snow on it. They're continuing to play there. 0-0 for Mike Giuliano and the Grizzlies. Taking his sweet time is the penalty kick converter and Martin Cortez, first team all-conference member, junior to Santiago, Chile. Looking for a ball, and he finds it. Again, a smooth left-footed stroke. He went to his strong side, to his right, but took some off of it. It takes a lot of confidence to execute that in a pressure situation. Skies one to the back door. No one home there in a black shirt. Sagi Hurst was able to head things out of danger. Again, no signs of Jules on the sideline. He is still underneath that training table in a 2-2 ball game. Ball into the box. Diem gets a boot on it. We get another collision. Taken down this time was Sierra. Play continues. Ball inside the 6. Just scraping off the top of the shoelaces on the back door was Sornellis. Sornellis had an opportunity. The energy, the excitement, the nervous energy continues to build here in Lawrenceville in the opening round. And again, what's on the line? The winner will advance to Irvine, California, the final side of the Men's Soccer National Championship, somewhere that Life has not been since 1999. And George Gwinnett's trying to go back for the 3rd year in a row. Somebody will advance, and somebody's season will come to a disappointing halt versus potentially their new rival. We've got something brewing here in Lawrenceville. Peckrell. Thornell finds it. Tries to win it. Taken away by the black shirts. Down the path. Looking for Verdendach. Stood up by Rivera. One more pass down the path. Gets it to Thornellis. Looking across. Tiente intercepts it. And now Thornell gets out of the back. Grizzlies in transition here. Zion looking for help. De La Rosa calling for it on the backside. Zion dribbles past 1, dribbles past 2. Can't dribble past the 3rd. Zion dribbled 40 yards there, only to turn it over outside the 18. Had some help with him too. Cortez will reset all the way back to Peckrell. Peckrell. Header won by Sornellis. Comes to the near side. Fiora petitions for that to be theirs, and he'll win it. Thornell down the path. Over to De La Rosa. Foot fight. Won by Lightfoot. Tiente able to get it back. Aaron Buru. Down goes Edward Waji, and he'll draw the whistle. Fiora tried to switch the field, but instead it was knocked down by Luciano Diaz. Diaz applying pressure to Sagi Hirsch, and Life is going to say it went off of Hirsch. Hirsch can't believe it. Sierra wanted a quick restart, but now he'll leave it for his teammate. And Bagagini. Posting up here is Sadie. Sadie had to go out of bounds. Last touch by Tiente. Life back in toward the penalty spot. Or excuse me, the elbow, but it's knocked away by De La Rosa. Sadie. Bounce across the 18. No real ownership here. Life trying to put some pressure on the Grizzlies. Cortez, the goal scorer, here in the second half. Too long of a touch. Zane takes it away. Zane able to dribble past one Life person, but not a second. Nifty little touch by Lightfoot. Lightfoot coming down this left side. Lightfoot down toward Diaz. Diaz chased down by Thornell. Now a ball in toward the 18. Headed away by Diem. Tiente, he's taken down with contact. Now the ref wants to stop the clock, and this may be the first counseling session we're going to get, because the fouls continue to build just a little bit. They just get a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more violent, and so I got a feeling a card maybe here coming momentarily. And it may not matter who fouls and where. It just may be a cumulative effort of, I got to get control of this game if you're the official in orange. Ball far side again. De La Rosa subscribes to the Sagi Hirsch camp of should have been on throw-in. Referee rules the other way. Rivera all the way back to Gilgorovich in a driving rainstorm. It started raining about 3 o'clock in the morning here in Atlanta, and it hasn't stopped. It's been these conditions all day long for this contest, through warm-ups, through the first half, through halftime, and it continues here in the second half. Meteorologists estimate about an inch of rain will fall in Gwinnett County today. Here's Edward Raji off to Zine. Zine with the ball over the bar. Drew contact, and he'll get a corner kick out of this. It was deflected. Edward Raji had a good look at it, but decided to pass things up for Zine with a better shot. Here's Sagi Hirsch. Somehow it's going to try to drive this ball off. He's got a wet shirt to do it with. And as soon as you put that ball down, more rain's coming. Hirsch goes short. And off to Thornell. Thornell the short and cross back toward the 18. Aaron Brewer's in the neighborhood. Ball pinballing around the 6. And last touch by the running Eagles. Grizzlies will get another corner kick. Locked up at 4 in that category now. Again, Life had 9 corner kicks in that regular season matchup, in which they lost 3-2. Grizzlies won't be as fortunate if they give up that many corner kicks and set pieces today. Now the referee talking things over with the mosh pit at the penalty spot. Fiora's in there. Alfredo Rivera's the usual suspects in there. Hirsch strikes it toward the back door. Fiora can't get to it. De La Rosa trying to be that umbrella on the back door and can't save it from going out of play. The Grizzlies come up empty-handed. Couldn't get a shot off there in the frame of the goal. With back-to-back corner kicks in about the 58th minute. We are tied up at 2 here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Meanwhile, Mike Giuliano and company in Upland, Indiana, they're locked in at 0-0 in the second half in a driving snowstorm. We'll keep you updated on that too as well. Ball near side for Thornell. Cleared out of danger. Ball down toward De La Rosa on the inline. De La Rosa assessing his options. Comes back to his left foot. Scored a goal in the first half. Looking to pick up an assist here. Zion with a header. The chest trap. Thornell with a shot. Thornell finds it. We're going to flag up. Flag up. No goal. Flag up. No goal. Grizzly was in the offside position. No goal. Grizzlies put one in the back of the net, but it's not going to count. Flag up on the near side, and there's not too much protesting coming from either the fans down there in that corner or the Grizzlies on the field, which means it was a good call. Unfortunate break for Georgia Gwinnett. Thornell almost double-dipped in his senior season, his last game here at the Grizzlies Soccer Complex. We're still locked in at 2-2. Zion in the midfield to Tiente. Can't connect. Turnover. This is where life is dangerous. Thornellis finds some help. Far side. And again, worth noting too, Thierry Jules is still inside that medical tent on the far sideline. He has put a jacket on too, and he has stayed on his backside since being limped off the field versus Georgia Gwinnett. Again, he came off the field twice yesterday in the second half versus Union. Ball to the back door. Sierra wins it but can't control it. Excellent tackle and control by Aaron Buru. He'll get to his feet, look for some help. He'll find it. In Zion. Zion will settle, turns in the midfield, assessing his options, swings it near side. Thornell streaking. Thornell the inline. Thornell first touch near post. Knocked away beautifully by Diaz. Diaz going to chase it down near side, unable to have enough real estate. Restart for the Grizzlies. This game has a wide open pace to it in this second half since that penalty kick. And again, you got to keep in mind watching this match, Life played 110 minutes and went to penalty kicks 24 hours ago, yesterday versus Union College. How much do they have left in the tank? Now, adrenaline will kick in at some point, and they'll continue to carry this 11-member senior class. But will it be a factor? Cortez digs things out of the back. In transition, finds Sornellis. Up to Diaz, Luciano, Diaz, long ball. Out to Serrera. Gilgorovich way outside of his box here. He'll get a boot on it. Draws contact with Sierra. We'll get a flag up from the linesman on the far side. I believe they're going to blow Serrera for the foul. Gilgorovich slow to get up. Trying to limp it off on his right leg. Seems to be okay. Not that it matters, but I do have good news. It's not raining as hard as what it was 10 minutes ago. It's still raining, though. We're not out of the woods just yet. And what do you know? It's still snowing in Upland, Indiana. Fiora around midfield. Fender Noondock, near side. Finds Diaz. Back to Cortez. Cortez, beautiful ball in the box. Out comes Gilgorovich. He'll punch things away. Now Noondock trying to settle. Awkward touch. Now right-footed volley. Lands way up and over the mark. You got to imagine Gilgorovich in the Grizzly back line is going to have a little bit more confidence now that 6'8" Thierry Jules is on the sidelines on those head balls. Now the mentality for Life may still be, that's our MO. That's how we scored, and that's how we got to this point in the season. So they may continue to do it, but the target man up top is Luciano Diaz, who is 6 foot tall, not 6'8". He's 6 foot even tall. And so when you match him up versus Fiora, who's 6'3", Aaron Buru, who checks in at 6'1", and then Gilgorovich is 6 foot tall too as well, and he gets to use his hands. GGC may have a slight advantage, or at least not as much of a disadvantage as what they had with Jules out there. Get a horn and a substitution. We'll see Bastion Belcher for the first time today. He played significant minutes yesterday at the left back. It looks like he'll go there again. That'll push Cortez perhaps up into midfield. Belcher down the path. Finds Sornellis. Can't connect with Cortez. It'll be a restart for the Grizzlies. Who is going to be our hero? Malik Thornell was almost in, had a goal taken away from him. Would have been his second of the day and his second of the season in his senior season. Edward Raji wins the header there. Now a flick on to Tiente. How about the AI Player of the Year? Tiente, just too long and too hard of a first touch. However, he's going to get a corner kick out of this. And that's what we've learned about GGC in 2019. We don't have a Sammy Gomez at the top of the lineup, and that's unfortunate. But what we do have is Tony Tiente, the Player of the Year. Carlos De La Rosa, who scores in the opening round. Malik Thornell, who scores in the opening round. Alfredo Rivera, who put a knife in this Life team in the regular season. It's got John Marie Fiora, who's not scared of scoring goals. Grizzlies can come at you from a lot of different ways. Hirsch, left foot. In toward the back door. This ball's pinballing around here. And it'll be cleared out by Life, and it'll be a GGC restart. Quick update from Upland, Indiana. It appears that Indiana Wesleyan has struck with a goal in the second half. And they have started snow angels on the sidelines of IWU. So we'll keep you posted on that. If Mike Giuliano and company can spark the comeback. Here in Lawrenceville, 2-2's your score. 25 minutes remaining. Header. Won by Diaz. It'll trickle back to Gogorovich. Folks, I think it's official. It stopped raining. Need confirmation on that? Stick your hand out the window. So everything's still wet, very wet. Jerseys, cleats, socks, shin guards, fans, umbrellas, jackets, turf. Everything's still wet, but at least the precipitation has stopped falling from the sky. Tiente with a nifty touch. Trying to build this attack. Zine trying to get it back to Tiente. He'll shield off his defender. Tiente in behind toward Raji. Onside in business. Raji with a touch. It ricochets off of Peckrell, and it's headed out of danger, literally out of the mouth of the goal by Felipe Bagaglini. He saved the day for Life. Edward Raji tries to rekindle his magic from back in September, where he scored in back-to-back efforts, trying to give the Grizzlies a goal advantage here in a rematch. Certainly the momentum of this match starting to shift back toward GGC's favor. Alfredo Rivera, our hero from September, puts one in the box. Fiora's there. Fiora just misses the mark. John Marie Fiora and Ian Aramburu starting to have their will on these air balls. A new sense of confidence without the air Jules on the pitch. Substitution for Life, trying to make something work. Out goes Sergio Serrera. Checking in is Reyes Hernandez. That name is significant. Hernandez scored the equalizer in the 73rd minute versus Georgia Gwinnett earlier this year. We'll have to keep an eye on black number 7. Ball back in. Nifty little flick in the right direction for Diaz. Fiora and the Grizzlies are there. It's interesting to see Steve DeCoux, even with this equalizer, to stick with this 5-3-2. And the best part is they're still creating chances. They do another one here. Here's Zine. Zine across the 18. Too stiff of a first touch. Couldn't control. Life coming back the other way. Sagi Hirsch closing down the distance, down the path, looking for Diaz. Diaz in a foot race with Diem. Diem with goal side. Shielding off his man. It'll roll off the sideline for a GGC throw-in. 22 minutes and change remaining. Sagi Hirsch down the path. No one home in a white shirt. Life comes right back downhill. Fiora trying to do the same. He'll shield it off as Gogorovich will secure it. As John Marie Fiora takes a tumble, holding his back. And again, it's Fiora, who's battled injuries all year long. He's had quite the emotional satisfaction of being the AI tournament's most outstanding player from that 2-game match last weekend. As Fiora, beside himself with emotions, tried to bypass the post-game interview with yours truly, and I wasn't going to let him do that. Tiente settles in the midfield. Grizzlies with momentum here. Zine back to Tiente. Tiente with time and space. Tiente right foot, saved by Peckrell. Knocks it straight down, and Life gets it out of the mouth of the goal. Tony Tiente with too much time and space for any coach to get any sort of sleep at night. Corner kick coming for GGC. Georgia Gwinnett now with the advantage in the corner kick category at 6-4. Rivera, right foot, high archer over top of Aaron Buru's head, as well as the rest of the mosh pit. Not out of play. De La Rosa tries to settle, and he does. De La Rosa, the defender on his back, finds Aaron Buru. Aaron Buru needs some help. Hirsch, back down the path, let's return to center. Aaron Buru finds a gift in his lap. Aaron Buru shovels in Zine. Zine knifing his way through traffic. Back at the 18. Tiente right back to Zine. It's cleared away. Aaron Buru's there. Aaron Buru with a right foot to absolutely no one. Peckrell, wisely let that one go out of play. And Peckrell keeps his footing too as well. It's slick. The terrain changes from turf to concrete as it goes from green to black, and those rubber spikes in the bottom of those boots can begin quite slick once you go from turf to concrete. You got to kind of change your footwork and your momentum a little bit, and Peckrell did that. He's played here before a number of times in his sophomore season. And right here in Atlanta. Life with a long strike. A little incidental contact from Liam Neeson, and he's going to be blown for the foul. Liam Neeson clearly late to the party there, but I don't think he affected that violent touch by the running Eagle player, which that touch was a 30-yard worm burner right to Matija Gilgorovich. So the referee ruling that the contact did affect the change in possession, so he will rule it a free kick. Cortez, set piece master for the running Eagles. He's going to be every bit of 35 yards out here. Left foot. He'll chip this one in toward the box. Alfredo Rivera's there to head it out. And now De La Rosa challenges. Zion wins it. He's going to dribble toward the far side. Again, GGC, lots of confidence. Not just confidence, but winning those aerial balls. Collision in midfield. Ball continues with play. Life has it. There's Hernandez, a goal scorer from September. Zion still down at midfield. Inside 20 minutes to play. Ball looped into the box. Fiore tries to get a boot on it, but Gilgorovich a little bit late to explaining he is there. Now Fiore is upset at something, whether it's teammates or the no call on Zion, not sure. Dornell, a little bit of space to work with in midfield, drops it back. And now switch it over to DeHaan. Back over to Fiore. You would love for things to settle in here. Very frantic pace back and forth. Probably favors GGC to keep that pace, but you don't want to lose your mind. Lefty little flick by De La Rosa. Now to Sagi Hirsch. Back in the middle for Tiente. Trying to get it to Razi, and the Grizzlies turn it over. Venden Deerdonk. Into Cortez. And again, Cortez been playing left back, and with the assertions of Belcher into this lineup at left back, that moves Cortez into the midfield. Here's Lightfoot, not nearly the impact he had yesterday as he's had today. Long ball, one and chested in the right direction, but a good job defensively by Fiore. Diaz was the target. This ball's booted all the way back to Peckrell. And now we're going to get a costly mistake by Peckrell. Peckrell catches this ball inside the 18, so we're going to get an indirect free kick. A mental nightmare by the Life goalkeeper as Cortez placed that ball back to the goalkeeper, who's not able to use his hands when your teammate kicked you the ball. Peckrell had to use his feet, and he didn't. He caught it. And so now this is quite the turn of events. Inside 18 minutes remaining, this ball will be placed inside the 18-yard mark, and it has to touch a second Grizzly before it goes in the net. I stand corrected. It's going to touch a second player, period. So even if it's Peckrell on a deflection and it goes in, it counts. This is not a direct kick. This is an indirect kick. So you're going to see Tiente and Zane stand over top of it with Alfredo cocked and ready to roll. Expect the wall to come sprinting at first contact. Indirect kick here. Tiente, Rivera, blocked. That's normally the cause of those events right there, is just too much time and not enough execution. For those, it's just too much has got to happen in such a short amount of time and distance. But a sigh of relief for life. They continue to breathe here in Lawrenceville. That header, chested and won by Diaz. And get contact and a foul. And it goes against Life. Steve DeCoux looking to make some adjustments here. A couple of subs at halftime, or at half-field, I should say. We're not at halftime. We're well past that. We're in this 74th minute. This was about the time the Grizzlies found their hero in Alfredo Rivera in a regular season match. Can they get another one here? Tiger Hurst with a clearance, or excuse me, with a cross. It'll end off the sideline. It'll be a restart for the Grizzlies. Quick update here. 20 minutes remaining in Upland, Indiana. Mike Giuliano and GGC women's soccer still down 1-0 against Indiana Wesleyan. Again, that match about 4 minutes behind this one. We'll keep you posted. Zagi Hirsch launches it long into the box. Intended with Fiora. Still bouncing around. Kirshner Clark's the sub who just stepped in, as well as Elon Adam. Tiente near side. Tiente retreats to the corner flag. Tiente, nifty little move, but slips, falls. We're going to get contact. This will be basically a corner kick coming for GGC as the contact came from Cortez. Meanwhile, a couple of things to notice when the Grizzlies get back to their shape. I believe DeCoux pulled the trigger, and they're going to go back to the 4-3-3 attack here with this sub. We'll get confirmation on that here in a moment. So, Sagi Hirsch on the free kick right next to the corner flag. Left foot, near post. This ball's rattling around, comes back out to Hirsch. Hirsch will settle. Looking to try it again, and he does. Backdoor, Fiora's there. Fiora with a header just heads it down too stiffly. He was in the right place at the right time, just didn't have the right placement. So here we go for Steve DeCoux. I stand corrected. It'll still be the same 5-3-2 formation. It's just Elon Adam comes in the midfield for Marwan Zain. And then the other sub is Kirshner Clark up top for Edward Raji. And Mburu wins the header. Now Tiente catches a nasty elbow at midfield. And here's the thing. I understand the fans' frustration here because the lack of whistles and the conservative effort by the official in the first half, now all of a sudden we get a little whistle happy. We had a total of 6 fouls in the first half alone. Now here in the second half, we have a total of 14 fouls already. So there's a little discrepancy there. But again, I think the players are having to be reined in a little bit. I think they're being given too much rope here in this second half. And so the referee's having to blow the whistle because they're becoming more aggressive, thinking they can get away with more. Sagi Hirsch down the path. Finds Kirshner Clark all the way at the end line. Clark comes back out to Hirsch and they can't connect. It'll be a throw in for life. 2-2 is your score here in Lawrenceville. Winner will advance to Irvine, California. The Grizzlies trying to do it for the 3rd consecutive season. Meanwhile, Life trying to do it for the first time since 1999. Malik Thornell across the 18. Drew contact, couldn't get a shot off. Here comes the running Eagles, running the other direction. Nifty defense there by Alfredo Rivera. It's a counterattack to a counterattack. Rivera toward the 18, can't find Thornell. Again, Thornell is awfully high in this formation right now, but he's been given the freedom in that 5-3-2 attack. Tony Tiente trying to go to work here. And now Carlos De La Rosa, play continues, back to Tiente. Tiente trying to find the right foot. Tiente off to the elbow, can't connect. A little shake and bake, posted up, he'll retreat. Give it back toward Alfredo Rivera. Smart move there by the AI Player of the Year. Grizzlies keep possession and swinging out to Sagi Hirsch. Reset with Lisa Neum. Down the path. De La Rosa tried something fancy but couldn't get it to go. Back to Peckrell, who wisely plays it with his feet this time. And now Fiora has it skip off the top of his head. Rivera back to Gilgorovich. The Grizzlies handle the pressure easily. Adam over to Hirsch. Left foot, near side. Tenor for Lawrence. Inside. Cortez looking across, and he does. Fiora's there. Loose ball comes back out to De La Rosa. Not too many white shirts around him, trying to control things. He cannot. Lightfoot's there. Elon Adam will control things. He swings it out to Sagi Hirsch. Hirsch down the path. Kirshner Clark forces a tough angle. And now Sagi Hirsch into Clark. Life turns it over, sends one long, but DeHaan and Fiora handle it well. Finds Elon Adam in the midfield. Elon Adam sends a wide open Malik Thornell near side. Thornell settling on the carpet, picks his head up, finds De La Rosa. De La Rosa wide of the 18, now inside the 18. De La Rosa left foot comes near post, it's through the wicket, but somehow between the ankles of Peckrell, he squeezes that ball from going into the net. Fourth save of the afternoon for Life University. And as I look at the stats here, something has come over me that I have not realized. How about Fabian Peckrell has 4 saves in this contest. His counterpart, Matija Gogorovic, has 0. Both shots for Life that have been on goal have found the back of the net. So one, that's a testament to when Life does get a good look, they've been able to convert, but they haven't got too many good looks in this contest. Only 2. And that's a credit to the GGC defense. So Life looking for an opportunity here in the last 10 minutes. GGC, again, playing with that field a little slanted in this second half. Fiora trying to find Clark, can't do so to Peckrell. And again, as we set the stage for you, Life scored first in the 22nd minute. That's Sierra Jules scored on a beautiful header just outside of the 6, skying over top of Matija Gilgorovich. Then the Grizzlies went back-to-back in the 36th and 38th minute with a pair of seniors that hadn't scored all year. The first of the season for De La Rosa and Thornell. And then Life got the equalizer on a foul of Deary Jules in the 50th minute. Jules had to be helped off the field and has not returned since that 50th minute. The penalty kick was converted by Martin Cortez, and that's where we're at right now at 2-2. Ball out to Tiente. Too stiff for strike, can't control. Vanderdendock comes near side. Alfredo Rivera, goal side. No threat from Lawrence. Cleared up the path. Headed by Belcher in the wrong direction toward the bleachers. Packed house here at the Grizzly Soccer Complex. May not be the Flags, the mascot, and the Spirit Squad, but certainly the Running Eagles that made the fans that made the 40-mile trek across Metro Atlanta. The hometown Grizzlies in full effect too as well. Tensions reached its highest about the 70th minute. Over the last 10 minutes, Grizzlies have had their chance. As the rain has subsided temporarily, we could be out of the clear, or in the clear I should say, for the remainder of the afternoon. Tiente back to Fiora. And again, Alex Palmer has an army of Running Eagles players waiting at midfield. A whistle as Tiente goes tumbling to the turf, and a restart at midfield. And a whistle blown on Eddie Diaz. Rivera restarts. Trying to get on the carpet, can't connect. Vanderdendock will send it long. Too long here to Gilgorvik. Fiora, excuse me, that's Aaron Brewer in the midfield. Relieves the pressure out to Rivera. Rivera sends it long. That play was there in the Grizzlies had that habit in the first 10 minutes, but they've waned away from that long ball over top of the defense. And they've played the feet of some of those forwards up top. So mass substitutions here for Alex Parma. Vanderdendock off, Lawrence off. Gonna get, I believe, Sierra off too as well. And a whole host of Running Eagles back in. Luciano Diaz in. We'll see the return of Wesley Sornellis. And we also get a new Running Eagle, Mateo Carlosella. So Carlosella, some fresh legs, as well as Sornellis. Played some first half minutes, but has not appeared in the second. Seemed to be issued for Luciano Diaz. Tough touch there by Rivera, but Fiora's there in the right area. Elon Adam. Up the path. Finds De La Rosa. De La Rosa. Shelves it off far side. To Sagi Hirsch. Sagi Hirsch looking across inside the 18. Had it denied. Magadini trying to start things out of the back. Elon Adam denies. Elon Adam working downhill through a couple of defenders. Beats the second, but not the third. Sagi Hirsch gets it right back where it came from. Hirsch trying to find some friendly feet. Well, nutmeg the defender. Finds Clark. Clark off to Adam. Adam sizes up a right foot here. It's knocked down by Peckrell. Kirshner Clark follows up the rebound but couldn't convert. So here we go. 6 minutes remaining. We're tied at 2 between two neighbors playing for the 4th time in 4 years. Twice in this season alone. And for life, trying to go back to the vinyl site for the first time since reinstating the program in 2016. Meanwhile, GGC's trying to go to the final site for the 3rd time since 2016. One more substitution. Quality minutes there for Luciano Diaz, who's come on in the 50th minute for the injured Erie Jules. And so now they'll lean on Steiner and Magnuson at the top of that formation. But again, this is not a knock on Magnuson. At 5'10", he's not nearly the aerial arsonist that Jules is. And so the Grizzlies feel like they have an advantage keeping this ball on the carpet. There's the ball up top. DeHaan fighting for it. Tied up with Sierra. No whistle. Ball goes off the inline and a free kick, or excuse me, a goal kick coming for Gregorovic. It's worth noting too as well, this Life team, as we get to the end of regulation, will have 2 overtime periods of 10 minutes of golden goal variety. The Grizzlies certainly comfortable in those scenarios. GGC in the last 2 seasons, over 8 matches, are unbeaten. 4 wins and 4 ties over that period, including the AI title over Bellevue. Fiore wins the header. He comes crashing down in a whistle. And Magnuson has parting words for Fiore. The referee will intervene. So the Grizzlies certainly experienced in overtime, golden goal variety. Meanwhile for Life, they were in an overtime period just yesterday, couldn't convert, even having a man advantage over 16 minutes of those golden goal period. As Union received a red card in the first overtime period, couldn't convert, really didn't have too many opportunities. But they advanced on penalty kicks. And I can assure you, somebody for GGC staff had pen and paper during those penalty kicks. So if the same 5 shooters for the Running Eagles go back out there, Gilgorovich is going to be highly educated. And again, we saw a 6 corner kick in 2 days by Martin Cortez. He changed it up with a little variety, so we'll see how that plays into the conclusion of this contest. 3 minutes remaining here. Fiore chases it down, goes all the way back to Gilgorovich. Gilgorovich settles. Dumps it off to DeHaan. DeHaan up to Elon Adam. Gilgorovich back to midfield. Fans pretty energetic when Gilgorovich touches those balls, as if to will a mistake by Mattia. Elon Adam out to Rivera. Rivera in a foot fight, wins it, keeps it. Going toward the middle. Rivera was our hero from the regular season. Long ball issued by Corosella. Chased down by Magnuson. Stood up by Fiore. All the way to the corner flag. Magnuson denied by Fiore. Comes near side. And a restart coming forward, Life. Life has certainly made the trip here from Marietta to Lawrenceville. Fans actively involved. De La Rosa dribbling across to G-Claw. Inside, 2 minutes remaining. He'll send it up to Clark. Clark was our hero in the AI championship. Golden goal game winner. Can he rekindle that magic? Clark goes down. Play continues. De La Rosa trying to force himself into the mix. And now we get a running Eagle player laying on top of the ball, and that's at least a handball. Now we get a whistle, and this will go the Grizzlies' way with 90 seconds remaining. Alfredo Rivera had a similar ball about 12 minutes ago, and he put it right on the back post, but nobody was there for GGC, as if Rivera put it where he wanted to, but nobody else got the memo. Fior goes to that back post. De La Rosa goes to that back post. Tiente's in the neighborhood, and now Ian Aramburu joins the conversation at the penalty mark. Rivera. Aramburu! Did it go in? Did it go in? It did! Ian Aramburu, a header in the 89th minute. Georgia Gwinnett, 3-2. How about that? On the biggest game of the season for Georgia Gwinnett, they get 3 goals from 3 seniors. As Georgia Gwinnett is now 67 seconds away from the final sight. Mass substitution for Steve DeCou. De La Rosa out, DeHaan out. Summer Camp settles into the midfield, as well as Kamani Irving. Full force attack for Life. Elon Adam gets a deflection and now goes down on contact. It comes near side. What hustle by number 10. Life in a panic. We're inside a minute. Aramburu with a header. Clark in the neighborhood. All the way back to Peck Rule. Life's a long way away from glory. Around midfield. Aramburu with an air ball. Life pokes it forward. Fior can't win it. Alfredo Rivera does. 38 seconds into the box. Irving with a big header. Back out, shot wide of the mark, and we get a whistle. 30 seconds and counting. And now we have an altercation here with Felipe Bagaggini and the official. As the clock's still running in 20 seconds. Gilgorovich is going to tee things up and smoke this one to the moon. 12 seconds remaining. 10 seconds. The countdown is on. Gilgorovich with the right foot. And for the 3rd time in 3 seasons, the glory goes to the Grizzlies in the NAIA opening round. Ian Aramburu with a goal in the 89th minute captures the Lawrenceville bracket, and the Grizzlies will be headed to Irvine, California, as Georgia Gwinnett wins the Lawrenceville bracket. Steve DeCou and the Grizzlies are headed to Orange County once again. 3 seniors on their last game in the Grizzlies soccer complex score goals, and the leading goal scorer out of those 3 seniors was Ian Aramburu with 1. You had 1 combined goal by Aramburu, Malik Thornell, and Carlos De La Rosa, and all 3 get a goal to capture the opening round. What a performance by this Grizzly team. Life University upset at the circumstances for sure. The Runnin' Eagles have come all the way from Metro Atlanta on the other side of Marietta, and they've come up short. Their season comes to a frustratingly close as they lose 3-2 for the 2nd time this season to Georgia Gwinnett on this turf. But Life certainly has a lot to be proud of. A 14-5 record, a perfect 8-0 regular season record in the very tough Mid-South Conference. And for the first time since 1999, the Runnin' Eagles make the national championship. They pick up a win yesterday versus Union College in penalty kicks. An unfortunate close for the Runnin' Eagles. There's just to your left of your screen there in the orange penny. What's the Erie Jules? At least he's on the field and walking around. That's at least a good sign there. But he was taken off in the 50th minute after being hurt on a penalty kick that Martin Cortez finished and was the equalizer. And Jules certainly changed the momentum of that contest, and the Grizzlies are come over and thank the fans, the loyal Grizzly fans. So a big moment for Steve DeCoux and Georgia Gwinnett. We'll have the winning head coach on the broadcast here momentarily. Glad to have everybody aboard here live on our website, ggcathletics.com. Georgia Gwinnett comes away with a 3-2 victory for the second time this season over perhaps new inner city rival and Life University. Georgia Gwinnett now 4-0 all-time versus the Running Eagles. As Ian Aramburu, our hero, in the 89th minute. And Steve DeCoux having a moment with his team. They're right at midfield. And so certainly probably some water cooler treatment on the way, including a familiar chant that everyone's all too familiar with. We'll be joined by Steve DeCoux momentarily, and perhaps Ian Aramburu. I'm not sure. You'll know when I know. But again, to put things in perspective, the 6th NAIA National Tournament appearance for Georgia Gwinnett and their 3rd win in the opening round. 3 in a row now for this senior class. And they'll head to Irvine, California. And again, we showed you the bracket earlier. And again, folks, what this means on December 2nd, Monday, December 2nd, Georgia Gwinnett will await the winner of the top seed in Central Methodist. They'll take on Houston Victoria. That kickoff already about 5 minutes away. For those of the diehard Grizzlies out there, you want to see who the Grizzlies are facing. Try to find Central Methodist versus Houston Victoria. That match to kick off momentarily here. And so before you do that, we'll try to get a word from Coach DeCoux and perhaps one of those seniors that put a ball in the back of the net. And what a moment here for GGC here on the home turf. As the Grizzlies will break it down one more time. So there's Steve DeCoux on the right side. Congratulations again to Georgia Gwinnett. Goals in the 36th minute by Carlos De La Rosa, the senior. Goals in the 38th minute by Malik Thornell, the senior. And a goal in the 89th minute by Ian Aramburu. Coach DeCoux looks like he's on his way up here. Looks like he's going to bring the captain, Sagi Hirsch, too, as well. And as Georgia Gwinnett, again, captures the Lawrenceville bracket. Coach DeCoux gets a hug from his wife, Amy. Sagi will have some words here in just a moment, folks. Again, certainly glad to have everybody aboard. Georgia Gwinnett wins by a final score of 3-2 in unbelievable fashion. GGC with some late game heroics once again versus Life. And so again, a magical moment for the Grizzlies as GGC again takes home the prize. As we're joined now by senior and Sagi Hirsch, a great moment for us here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Sagi, I'm going to ask you the first question. I think I know the answer to it. How you doing, my friend?
Never been better. I've never been better.
Never been better. Sagi, take me back to yesterday. I mean, you sit in the stands or you watch from the top of the hill this Life team go to battle with Union College. What did you see out of Life yesterday that maybe you learned about from the previous contest when we played them in September?
To be fair, it was kind of the same thing. They had the whole plan for the whole year. They looked very good in that. What gave us a bit of a small advantage, they actually battled for 110 minutes yesterday, and we're here.
What was the energy and the atmosphere like? Because Life's only 40 miles away on the other side of Atlanta. Yesterday they had the Spirit Squad and the mascot and the flags. I don't know that they made it here, but certainly the energy was down there today. Well, compare that in your career and how it felt.
So I played them like 4 or 5 times in my career, and it's like a rivalry now. It's like a rivalry. They're a very good team. They're very close to us, as you said. That's how rivalry starts. We just want to beat them.
And if it is a rivalry that's been born here, we saw them in a regular season, and if you look at the box score, it's almost identical. They score first. We score back-to-back. They get an equalizer, and then we need some late heroics to claim the victory. What was going through your mind after the penalty kick and we give up the goal?
I wasn't scared or something. I had confidence in our boys, because I'll give you the truth. In my 4 years over here, I lost maybe 1 time in overtime. And I know if we're going to get there, we're going to win it. And I had the whole confidence with my friends, with my boys, that we're going to battle it and we're going to achieve it eventually.
Talk to me about this senior class. Ian Aramburu, Malik Thornell, and Carlos De La Rosa coming into today had a combined 1 goal, and all 3 of them put one in the back of the net today.
You know, before the game, we didn't think about it in the past week, but before the game, we actually realized something. That's the last time we're going to play on this field. And I'm so happy for my friends, for the seniors, that they got to get something so nice, so sweet in the last game on the field. I'm just happy for them.
You mentioned it to me earlier this week. This is the 4th time in 4 years you guys have made the opening round of the national tournament.
Yes,
now for the 3rd time, you're going back to Irvine, California. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. It feels amazing. The whole journey to get here. We had some rough patch on the road, and we eventually came together to have 8 wins in a row. Yeah. Now 8 wins in a row. So all we want is just to get the snowball running, and just we're going to win it all. We're going to win it all. We're not satisfied.
Sagi, not satisfied. They want some more. Tonight we celebrate once again. Sagi, we've had to bring some of our operations inside the tent, but believe it or not, that camera right down there is on you right now. Talk to the people back home. Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much for watching, and for whoever watching. Thank you very much. Your support means a lot to us. Can I give some shout out?
Absolutely. I
want to give shout out to my friends back home, my family back home, Dolev, Geffen, Einav, Omer, Dale, Izar, everyone, my family. I love you. Thank you very much for watching me. We're going to Cali, baby.
Sagi, congratulations, my man.
Yeah.
So, Sagi going to step aside here. We'll chat with Coach Taku here momentarily. Again, the glory goes to the Grizzlies by a final score of 3-2. It's an identical score and almost an identical sequence of events from the regular season matchup with the Life University running. And we're joined now by head men's soccer coach Steve Taku. Coach, I mentioned last weekend after winning the AI championship that we didn't get to celebrate win number 100 in program history, but 102 felt pretty good.
102 was nice.
How does 103 feel?
I'm pretty emotional about this one, pal. Wow. It never gets old.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. So, it's one of those games you just feel like, where's it going to go? Where was the goal going to come from? There have been games, you know sometimes we just don't have it today. Today was just, we got it. When's it going to come? I guess for TV purposes and for the viewers at home, we left it late just for the drama
for
of
entertainment
it all.
Purposes.
I don't know what my BP or heart rate is right now, but no, it was just, hats off to Life. I mean, they come out, and I heard you talk with Sagi, and this is developing into quite a rivalry, 40 miles apart or so. 2 good teams that battled at it, left nothing out there. My hat's off to those guys. I mean, you had to play 110 minutes or beat up. They were bruised, but they gave us everything we could handle. I mean, so couple of mistakes we made, but we were able to bounce back from it, and just really pleased with the way the boys played.
So you're not going to take credit for this, but I'm going to give it to you. So many strings that you pulled today between the 3 seniors getting 3 goals. There's a pep talk there, but there's a story there too as well. The formation change in the second half, Then a personnel change in the second half too as well. Elon Adam comes on at the right time as well. What sort of preparation did you and your staff have, and what were you able to execute today?
Well, you know what they're able to give us, and so it's going through a whole body of work. But sometimes, some of the things with with Carlos coming on in the second half, that was just a gut instinct. Now, the reason he didn't start was because we felt with Christian's ability to run in behind and Block's ability, for those who don't know, that's Oscar Summercamp.
He goes by about 4 different names.
No, his nickname's Blockhead, because he's just a blockhead. We love the kid to death, but he goes by Block. So we put Block in just because of the big physical presence, because with Terry, their number 9, he's a handful, and so we just felt we needed to go with our jumbo package today, so that's what I was calling it. But when Terry went out with an injury and some of those other guys left, then it felt it was time for like Elon and get our technicians on there, and he really came on well at the end. So sometimes it's a whole year's worth of work. Some of it, like I said, is just gut instinct and who I think is hot and can go.
You were emotional to start this interview, but we try to put things in perspective. 6 trips to the NAIA National Championship. Now 3 of them, half of our trips, have gone to the final site. Even with this expanded field, you've got an inside track with the selection committee. What does it mean to be one of the final 16 teams standing?
Well, we're one of the final 16 teams that can win a national championship. And that's what I told Coach Palmer, was that it's a process. And, I remember our first year going down to Embry-Riddle and playing a pretty good game, but just leaving it on the doorstep late and not being able to finish it off. And so we've learned how to win. We've learned, what it takes to do what we're supposed to. But, Maddie, at the end of the day, we're not going there just to take part. We're going there to win the thing. So let's go see what can happen, man. I mean, who would have thought this after the Mobile game, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but no, the hats off to the kids. I mean, we've just really come quite a ways. And there they are taking a photo again without me. Oh, well. Let's go on.
I'm surprised we haven't seen the cooler treatment just yet. That seems to be a tradition.
I did have to tell Block to make sure, though, that I don't get smashed in the head, because the last time he's pretty aggressive with it. So maybe I should just stay up here and let them all take off. Not
that you aren't soaking wet already from the first 70 minutes of this contest.
Whose idea was it to play at 2 o'clock and 100%? I know.
No, but it's funny you mentioned this is exactly how I wanted to tie things together here. We're one of the first opening rounds to check in our final site bid, and it'll be the Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies. I don't want to keep you here too much long, but Houston Victoria and Central Methodist kicking off here right now. As far as if my math serves correctly, do you need to get going, Coach?
Well, of course I'll go up and watch that game. Although I have seen Central play a couple. I haven't seen Houston Vic.
Of course he has.
Well, yeah, when you're a Raider, you kind of. We've got a little group chat with all the Raiders, and so we'll find out. Guys will say, "Hey, what time is hey, so and so's on," and so we'd watch those games. But I've seen them a couple times. I'm looking forward to getting at them. So it's going to be fun, Maddie.
Well, there's the final look at Georgia Gwinnett here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. The next time you will see them is in Irvine, California, on December 2nd. Who we play and when we'll play, we don't know. But for tonight. We celebrate. Coach DeCou, congratulations.
Thank you, buddy.
That'll do it here from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Again, the glory goes to the Grizzlies by a final score of 3-2 as Georgia Gwinnett takes down the life-running Eagles. Check back into our website, ggcathletics.com, for the latest information, as well as NAIA.org. For our soaking wet entire cast and crew from Lawrenceville, Georgia, I'm Matt Mahoney signing off, saying so long, everybody. This has been the Grizzly Digital Network.
We'd like to thank our corporate sponsors who have made this broadcast possible, and you, the fans, for tuning in. For the latest information, log on to ggcathletics.com.
Check, check, check. Testing 1, 2, 3. Microphone check. Are you ready?
Go. 5, 4, 3.
Sorry, I was not ready. I got distracted. That was my bad. Let's go. Yep.
5, 4, 3.
It's the opening round Lawrenceville bracket. Saturday showdown between Georgia Gwinnett and Life University. A rematch from the regular season in September. The Running Eagles got the scoring going. They found their big man, the 6'8" forward to target. And Thierry Jules scores his 11th goal of the season in the 22nd minute, and Life would be on top early, 1-0. But then a barrage of goals for Georgia Gwinnett. A beautiful ball by Ian Aramburu finds the feet of Carlos De La Rosa. De La Rosa finishes on the back post, and the Grizzlies hit an equalizer in a driving rainstorm in this Saturday showdown of the opening round. Just moments later, another senior who is scoreless on the year, Malik Thornell, finds the go-ahead goal for Georgia Gwinnett right before halftime, and the Grizzlies, soaking wet but feeling good, up 2-1. But then a penalty kick given up by Georgia Gwinnett, and Martez Cortez solidifies the equalizer, making it 2-2. It's the same exact story from the rematch in the regular season. The Grizzlies would need some late-game heroics. Could they get it? Tony Tiente to Edward Raji, who scored twice in the regular season versus Life, but saving the day at the very last moment would be Bagagini. And then Malik Thornell would get a chance. Back into De La Rosa. De La Rosa, who scored in the first half. He would get a left foot off, but just a save by the skin of his cleats would be Fabian Peckrell, and we stay tied at 2 until this moment. Ian Aramburu, a header, the senior, on his last game at the Grizzlies soccer complex, hits the game winner in the 89th minute, and Georgia Gwinnett, for the third time in 3 years, is headed to the final sight as the glory goes to the Grizzlies by the exact same score of 3-2 over Life University. Ian Aramburu is the hero in the 89th minute. 3 seniors find the back of the net for 3 goals on their last game at home before the Grizzlies head to Irvine, California for the final sight for the 3rd consecutive year for Steve DeCoux and Georgia Gwinnett. It's the opening round Lawrenceville bracket. Saturday showdown between Georgia Gwinnett and Life University. A rematch from the regular season in September. The Running Eagles got the scoring in Georgia Gwinnett. finished and was the equalizer. And Jules certainly changed the momentum of that contest, and the Grizzlies are come over and thank the fans. Looks like he's going to bring the captain, Sagi Hirsch, too, as well. And as Georgia Gwinnett, again, captures the Lawrenceville bracket. Coach Taku gets a hug from his wife, Amy. Sagi will have some words here in just a moment, folks.
So,
Georgia, the next time you here, we're one of the first opening rounds to check in our final site bid, and it'll be the Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies. I don't want to keep you here too much long, but
we'll play a couple. I have the Raiders, and so we'll find at what time.
Here in Lawrenceville, Georgia, the next time you will see them is in Irvine, California on December 2nd.